This is a duck. A nice little rubber duck. Now, what if there were a bunch of ducks completely scattered around a huge map and it was your job to find them all? Oh, you're not trying to do all that? Ah, it's fine. I'm gonna do it for you. This game is called Find the Ducks 2, and it's pretty self-explanatory. There are 67 ducks in total, and in this video, I'll be getting every single one of them. And I definitely didn't mess up the numbers when I first recorded this. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Be moving. Now, before we start to get to any of the ducks, we have to talk about the map. See, this map is split up into 5 different biomes. We got the grass area, the wild area, the sand area, the snow area, and this orange place? I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't even tell you what's going on over here. But I'm pretty sure these areas actually have names, but I'm gonna just call them what I want to call them. My fault. First, let's start off with the grassy area. This area is the area I'm pretty sure has the most ducks in it, so lock in. Now, the first duck I seen was the dimensional duck. I saw it when joining the game, and it was locked in the cage, and it forced me to join the group to get it. After joining the group real quick, it unlocked the cage, and I got the duck. Next to spawn, there was a mossy duck on a rock. And nearby, there was a flower duck in the grass. There was also a crane. And if you climbed that crane, at the top was the builder duck. And further down on the hook was the jolly duck. But like, what he doing there on the edge of the crane? Down on the corner of the road was the black duck. Then I decided to make my way over to these 2 little houses. On the window on one of these houses was the shock duck. If you go inside the house, there's a water duck in the sink. Now behind the house was a waterfall. Here you'll find the butterfly duck. And next to the waterfall was like a witch's hut or something. And if you climb in there, you'll find the blue duck. In another one of the houses, there was a gentleman duck. And I also just found duck right here. Just duck. Just a regular duck. Alright, moving over to the Roblox towers. If you climb up this staircase, you'll find Val duck. And if you go into one of the basements, you'll find computer duck. But remember this basement area for later. If you climb to the top of one of the towers, you'll find a room with CEO duck sitting behind his desk. Moving on from the towers, let's go back to the road. Here, you'll actually find a hole, like a ravine. Next to this hole is a group of traffic cones with the traffic duck in the middle. And if you jump in the hole, there's a fallen duck. And did this duck die in a car crash? Yo, what is this game, bruh? And above was a floating island that I climbed to the top of. Up here, I found a pink duck. And doing parkour to get to the other island, I found a checkered duck. And behind, there was a duck statue. And on top of this duck statue was the stone duck. Now, let's make our way over to this lake. On the boat in the middle of the lake, you could find a pirate duck. Nearby, there's a bucket with a fish duck. There's a fish duck in it. There's also a blue and a pink tower nearby. If you climb to the top of the pink tower, you'll find the cute duck. And heading back over to the road again, there's a backseat duck in one of the cars. And there's also a squash duck under this car. I feel like this one needs an explanation, I'm not gonna lie. And that is most of the grassy area complete. The next area we'll move to is the wild area. The first thing you see when you enter this area is a red mushroom with the mushroom duck on top of it. A little behind this was a temple. When you go inside this temple, you can find a mummy duck in a coffin. Now, the wild area has a bunch of towers in it, and each tower has a different duck in it. At the top of this tower was the insane duck, and under one of the nearby trees, there was a bat duck hanging upside down. Look at this huge, massive tree that glows. After climbing my way up the tree, I got the neon duck. At the top of another tower was the wizard duck, and at the top of another tower was the Wonder-Up duck. And there was a duck on one of these trees, and I had no clue how to get to it, but I just used the nearby players to see how to get up there, and I grabbed the camo duck. And to wrap it up, there was a hunter duck in the middle of the grass. Now we're gonna move on to this orange, spooky, kookly place. My confusion starts now because there's a spaceship over here? Like, what? Inside the spaceship, you'll see the astronaut duck. Working our way over to the graveyard, there's a zombie duck. And on one of the nearby gravestones, you'll find a dead duck. And get this, there's also a volcano over here. Like, when you jump inside the volcano, you'll find the lava duck. Now, if you follow the road, you'll actually walk into a tunnel. Here, you'll find a spider duck. And there are a couple towers in this area, and of course, there's ducks at the top of each of these towers. On top of one of the towers, there's a brown duck. On the top of another tower was the princess duck. And on top of the other tower was the king duck. Okay, that one was quick, but let's move over to the snow area. Immediately you'll notice there's a duck on the bench. This was the fancy duck. Inside one of the cabins, you'll find a treasure chest with the treasure duck inside. Back outside, there's a snow pile by a giant tree. In here is the snow duck. Inside another one of the cabins was the diamond duck, which was rightfully placed next to some Minecraft diamond ore blocks. And on the other side of the room in the bed was the sick duck. In a different cabin, I found a sleepy duck, and behind that cabin was a reindeer duck by the trees. One of the cabins had a watchtower on the top of it, and at the top of this tower was the iceborn duck. By the back of the area is an ice pond. Over here you could find the ice duck, and close to the pond was also an igloo. Inside the igloo was the Inuit duck. And that wraps up the snow area. Let's move on to the sand area now. In the middle of this area is this huge fossil. Under the fossil, you can find the sand duck. Also nearby, you'll find the mines. Right next to the sign is the miner duck. And you can actually hop inside the mine to get some more ducks. By the entrance is the gray duck. And a little deeper in the mine, there's a massive cave, which I definitely wasn't expecting when I was coming down here initially. There is a bit of parkour over here, but it's nothing too crazy. There's green goop over here with the acid duck in it. And on another one of the rocks was an amethyst duck. At the end of the cave, you'll see, and I'm not joking, 2 moai heads. Oh, and a devil duck. Okay, we out the mines now. Behind this pyramid is an archaeologist duck. And on top of the giant fossil, there's the bone duck. And nearby on a pedestal, you can find the Roman duck. Now at this point, I've gone through all 5 areas and I only have 68 ducks, which means I'm missing 5 from my initial sweep from the game. The first duck I started looking for was the ancient duck. And I knew there'd be something behind the waterfall, but I never really thoroughly checked when I first came over here. And of course the ancient duck was behind this waterfall, which makes sense. Oh, I actually knew there'd be something behind the waterfall. Then I seen I was missing the magma duck, which like, I don't even know how I really missed this. I went back to Volcano and got myself the magma duck. The next duck I was looking for was the studio duck. Now this one annoyed me. Let's go back to the Roblox towers real quick. So you know how I got the computer duck by going into the basement earlier and how there's 2 Roblox towers? I never thought to search the other basement. So I looked around this entire game looking for the studio duck when it was right in this basement the entire time. The next duck I looked for was the shadow duck. This one also annoyed me. Just look at where it is. Look at where it is. And finally, the leaf duck, which I promise you I looked for everywhere and I could not find it. This was the only duck I had to actually look up a tutorial for. And just look where it is. Just look where it is. Oh my god, why? Oh my god, I'm about to lose it. And after only an hour, I was able to find all the ducks in this game. Yo, if y'all like this scavenger hunt style content, please let me know, because these videos take way too long to edit. But that's it for me. I'ma bounce.